So Jimmy here at O'Reilly's. So we have here, this one I'm currently looking at is the Mercedes C-Class. So we're going to get it plugged in. Okay, so I do know it's got some sort of DPF issue. Right, engine management light is on. Let's get out of focus. I can't see the mileage. Where's the mileage on it? 134,000. Okay, so I'm going to use the Launch X431 Euro. I'm currently in as a Renault. I'm just plugging in that Renault there. So let me just restart this. Actually, we'll go back to this Intelligent Diagnose. Okay, so you can choose like a basic search or an enhanced one. We'll always do the enhanced just to check every single part of the car. It can take a little bit longer, but it's a more better check. Okay, we're going to scan through the entire car here, so there's a lot of different systems that you can see to go through. I mean, mainly we're going to be looking at the engine, but it's worth just doing a full scan to get an idea of what's going on in the whole car. So we can see there we've got 2 faults in the CDI unit, which is the engine. Okay, so it looks like we're finished. Heater, so some of these things we're not really concerned about. Fill level of the washer fluid, you know, audio stuff. We're going to go in here, CDI, which is soot content P2463, so a block DPF, and then we've got a P2463D00, temperature sensor 3, exhaust system, cylinder bank 1 has a short circuit. Right, so that's going to stop the DPF from being able to self-clean or regenerate. And then once you drive it for so long, you get this fault code come up, P246309. What's that? The redundancy system was activated. Right, let's go here, look at some live data, see what's actually going on with this DPF. Okay, we'll go to data stream and not exhaust after treatment. That would be the AdBlue system. Values of the particulate filter. We're going to look for the temperature sensor. So we've got these. Right, it would be better if the fault code gave the same description as the live data, but here we are. So we've got upstream of the turbo, which we'd consider sensor number 1. Then downstream of that, we've got the catalytic converter, which would be number 2. And then downstream of that, we have the particulate filter, which would be sensor number 3. So you can see that's dead on 300 degrees. Let's give the car some revs, sort of to increase the temperature of the sensors. Okay, so we can see that these ones are increasing with revs, but this one doesn't move. So it looks like, yeah, we've got a dead sensor there. Okay, I don't know just yet. Can we access this sensor from the top? Or as it's after the DPF, I might have to go under the car, but we'll take off the airbox. We're going to need to clean the DPF anyway. And then we'll see if we can access it from the top. If we can't, we'll have to lift the car up and get underneath. In regards to the live data for the DPF itself, pressure is sitting at 25 millibars, and we have a fill level of 400%. So we're going to get the car stripped down and see if we can get down to access where the parts are. Okay, so off comes the engine cover, just a little screw there. Then we can get this pipes off here, so just persuade those out a little bit, press it down, pull them out. This one again, downwards. Sometimes you need a little tool to do that. Just you got to be careful with them because they are delicate. And then press it down and pull them out. And just like that. So there we are. Now next we have here 7mm, or you can use a screwdriver. Again, we're just going to open that so we can get access. Get this airbox. We need to get this airbox out, get this ECU off, move it over there, and then we can actually see where the DPF is itself. Then it's obviously this out. So I'm just going to take off 4 screws from the ECU here. Okay, now with the ECU just move to the side, you can lift up your airbox, get it out. Okay, so looking at this here, we can see one of the temperature sensors here, this one, but we definitely can't see number 3, so it's going to be underneath. So we've got this sensor from Mercedes, even though we've explained what it is, but it's the wrong sensor. They've given us this one.
Could be like security, yeah.
So here we are under the car. This is the actual sensor that we're looking at. It's just here, basically. Got your DPF. Back in the car, we've now got that sensor on. You can see now we haven't got 300 degrees persistently. So now in a minute, once we start the engine, we should see this temperature obviously increase and decrease depending on how much revs you're giving it. Okay, now we've got the engine started, and if we look at this reading right here, let's give it some revs. We should see the temperature increase as we accelerate the vehicle. Just like so. Okay, now we've got all of this back out of the car so we can continue the rest of the job. We did have to put it all back together because they gave us the wrong sensor, so we had to let the customer go and pick it up. I'm just going to get these bolts out here. Okay, so what I've done now so far is we've unbolted this bracket like I've shown you, 3 of those bolts there. And then obviously we can turn it around to the side, and then we disconnect our pressure sensor, this one. Well, I think it should be that one. Let's confirm it with a manometer. It's always, usually on the Mercedes, it's the one away from the plug on this side. Okay, so what I can do here to confirm that, get a digital manometer, connect that pressure pipe to here, so we know we're going in the right side of the DPF. That's got a letter R on it for right side. Okay, now with the engine running, we've got launch UK DPF cleaning fluid. We're going to spray that into the DPF, and it comes off. Right, going to get him to hold it this time. Spray it in. See, this goes in at 120 psi, so there's a lot of pressure. Going to keep spraying that in until it's pushed all the way through the DPF. Okay, back in the car, we're going to hold the revs up now. We've got our cleaning fluid in the car. You probably see in the background there, we're going to have some smoke. We're going to hold that revs there for 2 to 3 minutes. We'll try and get a graph up here, but this always plays around when I try to touch it. Not let me press it down here. There we go, graph. Where are we? Pressure here. I don't want all of the graph up, but we can't help it. Now we're down to 69, 68, 66. Let's turn that flash off so it's not on the screen. 64. And let's let that idle, see where we are so far. It's only been like a minute or so. So we're now down to 6 or 7 millibars. It's not allowing me to change it. I don't know why, but it's just the touch screen's a little bit temperamental sometimes. I want to change it to millibars, but 0.006 is 6 millibars or 6 HPA. Right, now we will come back here. We've got good pressure on the DPF, so what we can now do is come out of the data stream. We go to special procedures. We don't want to regen it. No, let's go back to special function then. Teach in process. Now, unfortunately, there is no way to reset this without doing this. We need to tell it it's got a new DPF. Okay, once the engine started for this, so we're just going to start it back up. Above 500 RPM. There we go. Press that. It's probably going to tell me to turn it off in a minute. DPF pressure is now 4.9. Continue. Now it wants the engine off. We'll do that. Ignition on. and continue. Press F2. Okay, it went off a little bit quick there, but yeah, that was successful. So now if we come back, we should be able to go back to our data stream, diesel particulate filter values, and the fill level should now be 0%. So that just resets that, and what that does is it allows me to clear the fault codes, otherwise you can't clear the fault code. So now we're going to go into, we have to go to read first, and then we should have the clear option in here. Clear DTCs. We've had all of these sensors off, so that's why we've got loads of new fault codes now. Go back. Now we should be able to start the engine, and we should have no more engine lights. There we go. Back on here, we just confirmed that the fault codes are now still gone with the engine running. And then obviously one more little look at the live data for you, which was diesel particulate filter values, and then we had temperature sensor upstream of the DPF, the pressure, and the fill level. So we're even down a little bit more. We're down to 2 millibars of pressure. We can see the upstream temperature of the DPF filter is now reading as well. We can rev it up and down there, and you should see the values moving as you rev it up and down, which is perfect. We've got 2 millibars of pressure, 0 fill level, and a working temperature sensor. So that was all nice and smooth. Everything's nice. It went exactly how I'd wanted to, apart from, of course, the problem with the sensor. We ordered a sensor from Mercedes. They gave us the wrong one. I had to come back and get the right sensor. Right, so that was it. They gave us the sensor for the first bank, the first sensor which goes on before the turbo. Unfortunately, the people that work in parts departments, especially at dealerships, seem to have no idea what they're doing. That's it. We've got it all working as it should. So that's it. All done on that Mercedes. See you on the next video.